Okay, you've got your guitar gods, and then you've got your guitar gods who teach these guitar gods how it's done. This guitar god is Joe Satriani, and that was the solo and full instrumental to SATCH Boogie from Satriani's second album, Surfing with the Alien, coming in at number 55 on Guitar World magazine's Top 100 Solos of All Time. Back before Joe Satriani was a star in his own right, when he was in his mid-20s, he was a guitar instructor in Long Island, New York, and Berkeley, California. And he taught the likes of a young Kirk Hammett from Metallica, Steve Vai, Larry Lalonde from Primus, who suck, by the way, Alex Skolnick from the metal band Testament, who else? Rick Honold from the metal band Exodus, amongst many, many other notable rock and metal and jazz guitar players. Pretty darn impressive resume, to say the least. Back in the mid to late 80s, when Joe Satriani first came to prominence, guitar shredding was pretty much at its peak. It was the golden age of shred, one could say. I know because I was there and I lived through it. I was one of these young guns trying to make it in that world. And I didn't, and that's fine. I've learned to live with that. But it was so popular that a lot of young guitar virtuosos would release full shred guitar instrumental solo albums and make quite a name for themselves, all without the benefit of videos on MTV or radio play or having a lead singer for that matter, or hits. There was Tony McAlpine, who was amazing, still is. Go listen to some Tony McAlpine. He'll blow the ears right off of you. Vinnie Moore, Jason Becker, Paul Gilbert, Chris Impellitteri, Steve Vai, and of course Joe Satriani. I would include Yngwie Malmsteen from Sweden on this list, but most of his albums had vocals. They were half and half, half instrumental, half vocal, so I'm going to leave him off this list. Also, he seems like a bit of a knob, so we'll leave him off. That said, only really two of these guitar players would go on to have the kind of prolonged success that would make them household names even today. Steve Vai and, of course, Joe Satriani. Joe Satriani is actually the top-selling guitar instrumentalist of all time. He has sold over 10 million albums. That is amazing. Those are like pop star numbers. It just goes to show the incredible appreciation for his talent, not only from guitar players, but from non-guitar players alike. Just really remarkable, and he was and is just an incredible talent. That said, let's move on to the solo. As usual, when the solo is part of a longer instrumental, I've decided to learn and play the whole thing, because I don't know whether Guitar World magazine is praising just the solo aspect of the instrumental or the whole instrumental itself. So I've decided to learn and play all of the instrumentals on this list, if I can. I have been able to so far. You haven't beaten me yet, list. This one was tough though. Jesus. This took me a good solid week to put together. Satriani wrote SATCH Boogie while he was high. He was hopped up on painkillers following a car accident when he came up with the idea to compose a blues-style big band boogie number for shred guitar and band. And what a number it is. It is just 3.5 minutes of busy, busy, busy from start to finish. And just a hell of a lot of fun to play. Had some trouble with it, as a lot of these longer, more difficult ones I usually do. The opening riff is not easy. Really tricky, the opening 30, 40-second riff. I used a lot of gain. I think I used more gain than Joe used on this. I just couldn't really get the pinch harmonics to ring out nicely, or the Satriani scream, when he pinches the open G or B string and then reaches around, grabs the bar, and gets that famous Satriani scream. I didn't know how to do that until last week. So I've got that in my arsenal now, which is kind of fun. Anyway, I had a lot of gain in my amp, and I had a lot of string noise. So there was a lot of, the first couple of nights of just trying to get that opening riff down and trying to really do a lot of palm muting to kill the string noise. And I finally got that under control before I moved into the main body of the solo. It's a blues solo. It's in D. It's not in D. The solo changes key 6 times. It's in Dorian, which is the blues scale. So it's a blues solo at heart, but a lot of Satriani flair thrown in there with the Satriani scream and a lot of pinch harmonics, and then the pick tapping, and then the tap tapping, and some great legato runs, and just a fun solo to play. And I think I just feel privileged to be able to pull that off. Anyway, great fun, and I hope you liked it. It wasn't perfect. I made a few mistakes here and there, a few little flubs. I jumped the gun on one of the licks, but it still sounds okay, so I left it in. That's it for this week. I hope you like that. And next week, something a little easier. It's just a short solo from Smashing Pumpkins from, I think, Geek USA. Nothing too complex. I listened to it once. It sounds like a blues solo to me. So short and sweet, and I don't think it's going to be too difficult. So we will see you next week. Thanks for watching as always, and hope you learned something. Take care of yourselves.